on Facebook just to annoy people. You know, the one with the little, they have like a Santa dancing about how many days it is to Christmas. I just wanted to post that to annoy people, like really.
You know, seriously. I've had a few people post that already. I've seen Dancing Santa.
I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're excited to be here. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
Yes, it does.
You know, it's the beginning of a new week. We had a long weekend, and somebody was saying, "What holiday is it?" And I'm like, "Who cares? It's just, it's just another holiday." After a while, I feel like
they're all running
lot.
Together. Yeah,
and I feel like there is a lot of holidays.
Yeah,
and I kind of. Since I'm not in school anymore, I'm sure the kids knew what holiday it was.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I know in the States they still call it Columbus Day, but I think here it's Pan-American.
Yeah, whatever that means. All right, I'm not going to give trouble today.
Okay, really?
Yeah. But yes, a long weekend, and people, please, if you have pink eye, stay home. My goodness. I'm glad we can't transmit that on via TV and all of that stuff. So if you're at home watching the show and you have pink eye, I applaud you. That's where you should be.
Stay home.
Yes.
Stay home.
Yeah.
You know, I work at the Child Development Foundation, and I was at the office the other day, and the girls started talking about pink eye, and I immediately took out my hand sanitizer, and I'm in the other room, and they're like, "Miss Alita, did you just open up some hand sanitizer?" Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Keep your hands clean and don't touch your eyes. That's one way to.
Yeah, my daughter woke up and like at 2:00 in the morning, and she's like, "Can I sleep with you?" I'm like, "No, you need to go back to your bed." And so I took her back to bed, and I'm like, "Why do you want to sleep with me?" She's like, "I'm dreaming of pink eye." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "Oh, honey," I said, "dream about your dance trip to Orlando.
Yes.
Dream about something fun." So she didn't wake me up again after that, so I guess that helped. But really, businesses are suffering, offices are suffering because their staff is getting infected by people coming in, with pink eye and different things. And it is an epidemic. I saw in the newspaper that they're saying like over 8,000 cases.
Yes.
And that is only the ones I'm sure that went to a hospital.
Right.
Not the ones that are self-treating or whatever. So really, we have to help each other out here, people. So if you have it, try. Please stay at home and, try not to let it spread to your family members and everything else, because I kind of want this to be over with. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing so many people getting it. All right, with that public service announcement out of the way, we want to talk about, a center, an organization that is very close to my heart. Mentioned several times here on the show, and I managed to coax 2 other ladies to come and be with us this morning that are, one of them, she likes to be behind the scenes, this one right over here, so. And then the next one, she doesn't have a choice, she has to come. So this morning, I want to welcome with us Mrs. Jadine Fritzler and Mrs. Shasta Wade to our show. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Yes, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
So that organization is called Hope for Life. We are a pregnancy center here in Belmopan. So today I'm going to pretend I'm just the host, and I'm going to let these ladies be the Hope for Life people this morning.
We'll see how that goes.
She said she wasn't going to give trouble, so we'll see.
All right, Alida.
So tell us a little bit about Hope for Life. For those people who don't know about the organization, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Hope for Life is a pregnancy help center, which means that we help people who are pregnant, basically. Any woman who's pregnant is welcome to come. But we especially are there to focus on the ones maybe pregnant for the first time, or they're in a serious, they have serious issues in their life. Sometimes it's that the baby father left. Unfortunately, that's a lot of times. But we help people in different ways. Like, we have classes. We teach how to take care of babies, how to bathe, how to do things like that. We teach them about childbirth, which that's something that Andrea helps with a lot, teaching them how to get ready for birth. And we also are there just as a support system, sometimes just somebody to talk with or somebody to celebrate with them this pregnancy, which maybe they don't have anyone else who's doing that.
Yeah.
And how long has Hope for Life been around?
In August, we had 3 years.
Wow.
We just completed 3 years.
Okay.
So we're fairly young.
Yeah.
A lot of people still don't know about Hope for Life and really what we're doing, but we're right here in Belmopan.
Okay.
And it's been 3 years, and we've seen the clientele grow over the past 3 years, and we've been reaching a lot more women. But we want the word to go out more about Hope for Life and what we have to offer, and how we can be of assistance to those women who find themselves in a position where they're sometimes alone in a pregnancy, or they feel alone in a pregnancy, and they don't have the support system. So it's 3 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's gone by fast.
Yeah, I felt like it was just the other day that we were doing the ribbon cutting and stuff like that, and it's 3 years already. So yeah, but it is something that we are really passionate about, because we want to give women an alternative. You know, a lot of women feel like when they get stuck in a situation where they find themselves, like what Miss Jadine and Shasta was saying, there's no other choice but maybe to have an abortion, or some of them might want to consider adoption, but they have nowhere to go, who to talk to, and they feel alone. So that is why we're there to give people another option too. And so I know when we just started, people were saying, "Oh, we just want people to get pregnant." Like we're encouraging teenage pregnancy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I think up to now, like Shasta said, a lot of people still don't know what we do or understand really what it is that we do.
So it's really an organization that provides support and comes alongside of the pregnant woman. Yes.
Yes.
From the beginning all the way
through the baby's first birthday.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I
so
didn't realize that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have parenting classes, and we do like developmental checks and things like that.
Okay. That is great. That's phenomenal.
And then coming back to the whole accusation at one point in time that we had, that we were encouraging pregnancy, premarital pregnancy or teenage pregnancy. Nothing could be further from the truth. The fact is, when a person is pregnant, that person needs support, and it doesn't matter what the circumstances of that pregnancy is. The pregnancy itself is not a sin. Pregnancy is a gift from God, and we need to see pregnancy as a gift from God, and we need to see the children as a gift from God. But one of the things that we have offered, and we want to offer more as time goes by. As I said, we're only 3 years old, so we're young, but we have been trying to do some sexual integrity classes as well. Just speaking about your worth, your self-worth, and not finding yourself in this position again. And so it's really trying to help women to see themselves as empowered and not having to be victims of circumstances. And so it really is about empowering women to stand up and to be a support to themselves and to their children. So.
And one of the ways we do that is we have Bible studies every week. They're moms groups. Women come together, the moms come, and they study the Bible, and they learn what that means for their own lives. They learn about making good choices, making choices that are pleasing to God, that will make their lives better, and also their children. We have both Spanish and English. We've had up to 20 people coming in for our Bible studies every week.
Wow, that's exciting. That's exciting.
One of the things that I like about what Hope for Life does too is that there's not like a free handout type thing where people can walk in and you're just handing them stuff, but we try to point them to the one who gives hope, to Jesus, and they have to earn the stuff that they get. And so it's not like, not everybody will want to do that, to commit, to that. So they, every time they do a Bible study or they come to a parenting class or a childbirth class or whatever, they're earning points or baby dollars, as we call them. So maybe Ms. Jadine could mention about the baby dollars, how that works.
The baby dollars, that's our little play money that we have. And as Andrea said, every time they come in for an activity, they get these baby dollars. They can use them immediately, or they can store them up, and they can get baby clothing and Pampers and wipes and all of those kinds of things that they need. So it's a way they have for providing for their baby, which is a huge issue. How am I going to afford these things? But also, while they're doing it, they are being empowered. They're learning how to be better parents. This morning I had a group of ladies who were watching a DVD on communicating with your baby.
Oh, wow.
And like from baby up and through toddlers, and how that helps influence their brain development and prepares them for school. And when they watch this, I ask them, okay, what did you learn? And they say, I have to talk to my children. And it's like, for some people, it's such a new idea. I have to talk with my children. So in so many different ways, we're hoping to influence families and change patterns. So,
it is one of the most exciting parts, I think, for me, to see women come to a realization of their impact or influence on this child that they have brought into the world. And so these DVDs, I think we've had more than one person say that, hey, I realize that I have not been communicating with my child. I've been busy in the kitchen, busy doing this, busy doing that, and the child is just there. I need to communicate. So it's like really opening the eyes of women to a whole new way of communicating and having family life, what a family life is supposed to be. So these are some of the areas that we see that we have been impacting women and impacting the next generation, because there is another generation coming in, and so it's about them as well, and just not seeing cycles repeated, cycles of abuse or neglect or anything like that, but really empowering women. And coming back to the hands out thing, we have done our best to say that we will assist women that are through their pregnancy up to their child is 1 year old. That's a lot of assistance. That's a lot of assistance. But it is not just for the sake of giving out Pampers or milk or anything. It really boils right back down to pointing these women to who the real source is. We are a resource, but we want to point them to the source. And so we go through Bible studies, we go through some of these purity classes. Well, we don't call it, we call it sexual integrity. We have counseling sessions for women who find themselves in maybe abusive relationships. So there are many, many, many ways that we see that even though they might originally come for the Pampers and the wipes, and they're coming to these Bible studies or whatever, some of them, for the sake of the Pampers and the wipes, we believe that they're going to get something that's going to last through the next generation, and that's the purpose.
Something really exciting to me is we're starting to see people coming in and just saying, I need prayer. I'm sick. We've seen people healed, when they're prayed for in the center. You don't have to be in church for God to answer prayer. People come and they say, I need prayer. My husband needs a job, or I need healing, or just I'm going through this horrible time. And that's exciting to me because we're not the all in all. As Shasta said, we're a resource.
And I got to, I've heard people come back and say thank you and how much it meant to them. And I know Miss Jadine gets to hear more of those stories personally, but I was there, I think last week when a lady came in, and I vaguely remember her, so I'm thinking she must have sat in one of my classes, and she said her baby was a year old, and she said, but, I'm really here to say thank you. Thank you for, all the help that you gave me. And then she started to talk in Spanish, and so I got lost there, but I heard that and I saw how much that center meant to her. And we have women who will come just to sit and talk because that is their safe place. And then they tell their friends that are maybe in a similar situation, and they bring their friends in. So most of our clients are from word of mouth. A lot of them come because their friends told them about it or would bring them to the center. So
is there an age range, or are there people you don't help?
We've had everything from 14 to 38.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I should say that when they're under 16, we make sure that social services is getting involved.
Good.
We make sure that the proper procedures are happening. But the youngest was 14. But I've had a 35-year-old in her first pregnancy. So
so you guys are there.
And one of the things too, see, I'm being hope for life.
That's okay.
One of the things that I've had several people come to me, and I don't know if they've approached Shasta, but I've gotten people saying, do you have any ladies willing to give up their babies? Like they think it's an adoption agency or something.
Okay.
And I've had to say over and over, no, we don't, that's not what we do. And even if there is a case where somebody wanted to give their baby up or put their baby up for adoption, we don't do that.
Right.
We would refer them to the appropriate agency that would deal with that. So we are not an adoption agency. So that's just one of the things I wanted to put out there.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So we have a big thing coming up because, of course, this center is funded or is open based on donations. And, you know, there's only one person that is receiving a salary there, and that's our awesome receptionist that's doing a wonderful job. But everybody else is volunteer or on a volunteer basis. And we do need finances to keep the center open, to continue the work that we're doing. So that's why I brought these two ladies to share with you all what is coming up and why we need you all to jump in.
Help. Yeah.
Okay, well, we have a Taste of Hope fundraiser, which is really a fun fundraiser because it's not a dinner, it's not a banquet, but it's a sweet and savory buffet where you get to try all kinds of fun new foods and time to visit with friends. This year we're going to have some testimonials from some of our clients.
Oh, wow.
We're doing videos for some of the brave souls who are willing to do it. But it's a time to find out more about Hope for Life, but also just to celebrate what God is doing as well. And our theme this year has to do with puzzles and pieces, and the fact that every piece is important. Every single person is important, and we need the help of lots of people to make this happen.
That's right. So we want to encourage, it's $25 a ticket to attend, and we're having it at the George Price Center. I don't remember the time.
And 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. We're starting at 4. But if you are interested in tickets, and we really do need your support, or if you know somebody who would be interested in getting a ticket, then please contact us. You can contact the host of Life and Color, or you can contact the Hope for Life Center, Ms. Jadine, myself, and you can get a ticket. But we really, really do want and need, and we're requesting your support. We believe that this is an extremely important ministry, and we see the hand of God in it, and God has been providing, and He continues to provide. We're not denying His provision in any way, but we're asking that you partner with us so that we can continue to reach more women who need this kind of support, and who will not only impact that, we're not going to only impact that woman, but we're going to impact the generation that she is also raising up. So please support us.
And the other thing that I've noticed is the baby bottles that I've seen out in different places. That's another way that you all do some fundraising as well.
Collecting change, which is, it's amazing how much change can be collected, how much, when we count it up and you find $50, $60 in a bottle, and it's just change.
So you can look out for, or viewers can also look out for those. They're in several little stores that you go to. You can see them. They'll have the Hope for Life sticker logo on it, and you got change, you could drop it in, and that's also a form of donation that we really appreciate, and it also really helps us. We pay the bills, we have to pay rent, we pay light, we have to have the supplies for the women, and we've also started to sometimes supply a little snack for women when they come maybe from the hospital, from a visit, because we're not a hospital, we're not a clinic, so we don't offer that type of service, but we do when they come from the clinic. Sometimes then they would stop in at Hope for Life. Sometimes they're tired, they've walked a long distance, just to have a little snack there or something like that. So we do have many ways that we need to spend money in order to continue the service that we're providing. So
and we are looking at even expanding too, adding an extra classroom and stuff, because we are growing
out of space.
And one of the amazing things about Hope for Life, I said Taste of Hope, of Hope for Life, is that we are funded mainly by people right here in this country, which is awesome to me to see that we have people willing to sow into this ministry. So we've had I know for one person, she started out sponsoring or donating $50 every month, and she has been doing that for the 3 years steadfastly every month. And so even if you want to contribute on a monthly basis and say I want to give $10, $20, whatever, people like that who will give that monthly support, it adds up and it helps us. So also, if you, let's say, you cannot make it to the Taste of Hope, but you want to contribute something towards it, we will take your donations gladly. So if you are, a caterer, or you like to cook or bake or whatever, and you would like to donate some food items or maybe the ingredients or something, contact us too, because we need that help as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also do have an auction, what we call a dollar auction at the Taste for Life fundraising. So if there's also maybe an item that you would want to donate, maybe you have a store or something that you could donate that you think would make a good auction item, we would also gladly accept it. So so that's coming up. This is the last Saturday in October, the 28th of October at the George Price Center, and it's from 4 to, we say 6, but it might be 6:30 because people might want to stay back and hang out for a while. So, but it is a fun event where people come and they bring their girlfriends or they bring their husbands or their whole family. I've known people that bring the entire family out and support us, and it is really a great time. So you guys should definitely come. Yeah. So any other thing we want to say before we let these ladies go?
What about, how can people get involved? What about volunteers or?
We always need volunteers. Sometimes when you say volunteer, it makes people a little frightened. They don't know what to do. We need people who are willing to give, we need women who are willing to give 3 hours a week. 3 hours a week to come in and sit with our ladies, hear their stories, find out what help we can give. We need people who want to help with just tasks in the office. Maybe you say, I'm not a good people person, I don't want to do that. But we have baby clothes to sort through, we have all kinds of things. And when we have fundraisers, we always need extra help. Maybe you would say, well, I can't be available every week, but I'd love to help you with a fundraiser. That would be wonderful. And we provide training for all of the things that we do. We're not going to say, yes, please come in and put you in a room with somebody and not give any training. We have training. Actually, this Saturday morning at 8:30 at the center, we have what we call, it's like an orientation, a getting to know Hope for Life, finding out exactly what we do, and the philosophy behind what we do. And it's from 8:30 until 11:30 at Hope for Life. So if anyone is interested, you think, well, maybe I want to volunteer, but I want to know more, it's a really good time to come out and find out. And not everyone who attends these ends up volunteering. But then you know how to pray for us too, and you know how to, maybe some of the other needs that we have.
That's great.
And Shasa, you want to say, well, why everybody not end up being a volunteer?
Oh, well, this is funny. My first volunteer training, actually, I had some people who ended up not being volunteers because their personality is just not the compassion and giving. They're more justice and that kind of people. We need those kind of people too. And this ministry is not for everybody. So that's why some people end up not volunteering. But then those people sometimes go on to be donors or their prayers, and so it's a good thing.
Which is why the training sessions and the orientation sessions are important, so that you can figure out, is this really for me or is it not for me? And so
and then if you decide it's for you, then there's further training in the office.
That's right.
Yes, because we value these women that are coming in, and we want to provide the best service to them. So we have to make sure that you're a right match. And sometimes people's heart is in the right place, but it's not a right fit. So then we help you figure out how you could still, if you want to be a part of it or to support it, then we could, talk with you about that. But it's important. It's not like you're going to jump right in. You have to do the training. You have to understand what it is that we do, because confidentiality is also a huge thing for us, where we want to protect the people that are coming there. So As you know, Belmopan Smile and people already, the main thing here, I don't want anybody knowing my business and all of that. And so we want to ensure that Hope for Life remains a safe place for women to come where they feel that they can, you know, be safe and that they can trust us. So, So, all right. Ladies, thank you very much for coming and joining us
this morning.
Yes.
So Taste of Hope is
October
28th at 4 o'clock at the George Price Center.
Yeah.
Be sure to get your tickets and support this incredible organization.
Yes. All right. So we'll take a break and we will come right back and continue our discussion for this morning.
Come on in.
Hey.
Hey.
It's been a while.
I know, my goodness.
So, I hear you're a big fan of a show called Life Uncommon.
Yes, I am. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
What is it about?
It's a daytime show, and it empowers women to embrace the extraordinary and go against the grain of the common.
I really like the sound of that.
Yeah, I knew you would like it because it's a really fun show.
It sounds that way.
It's a mixture of tears and laughter and challenges and human interest stories.
Well, you know what? I might just give it a shot.
Well, let's go.
All right, let's go. Hi guys, Alida and I want to invite you to join us on Tuesdays at 10:30 for a new season of Life Uncommon on Plus TV. You do not want to miss what 2017 will bring. It's going to be awesome.
It sure will.
From the company who brought you Buen Dia freeze-dried coffee, Greece 100% pure Colombian coffee is made in Colombia, considered among the finest coffee regions around the world. Naturally freeze-dried, Greece 100% pure Colombian coffee is exposed to less heat than other coffee brands to preserve the flavor and aroma to make the perfectly convenient cup of coffee you deserve. Have a buenos dias with Grace.
Recipes, go to gracerecipes.com. It's time for Grace. Grace, bringing good taste to life.
Welcome back to Life Uncommon. We are here in the studio at Plus TV, and we just had a great conversation with Shasta and Jadine, members of the board for Hope for Life, and that was really informative. I mean, there were some things that I didn't know about the organization, and I thought I knew quite a bit. But no, to know that there's support all the way for the child, all the way up until age 1. I didn't realize that.
I liked what Shasta said because she mentioned that, and it makes sense why we go up to a year, because we're impacting another generation.
Exactly.
So imagine if we just supported that woman up until she had her baby, and she said, okay, thank you, bye-bye. And she has no idea how to raise this child. Or, you know, parenting things, and maybe she may not be a first-time mom, but how do you adjust with, you know, having a new baby? You already have a child before that. So even things like that we talk about, because we realize that the woman is important and the baby is important. And so we want to impact her and that child that will, you know, make a lasting impact on the generations to come. So,
well, that's great. And I pray that the fundraiser and everything is very successful.
Yes. So I hope people buy tickets and buy them early, because we only, every year we have like a certain amount that we cater for. And so you want to make sure that you get your tickets early. And we do have a certain amount at the door, but we don't advise people to do at the door, because then it doesn't really give us a number to work with, you know. So we try to tell people, even if you can't get to us to get a ticket, let us know you're coming and we'll reserve your tickets for you. So if you want to come, let us know and we will gladly reserve a ticket for you. But Alida, this month we are calling it the launching or the jumping.
Time to jump.
Taking some jumps. And we are excited to see, you know, how around us, in the middle of all the, you know, the bad stories we've been hearing, the disasters taking place. I hear of a fire or fires in California.
Yes, I have friends that were affected. I
hear like multi-million-dollar homes burnt to the ground, and hurricanes everywhere. But in the middle of that, there's little stories, you know, that you hear of people jumping, of people doing something positive and great. Like finally, like a light clicked on for them, and they're like, I'm going to do this. So,
and those new steps are always important. And I like the verse. There was a verse you had shared. Was it last week?
I think it was last week, it was talking about be careful of how you walk.
Yes.
Not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of your time. Or, you know, it also says making the most of opportunities. Because the days are evil. So that was the verse that we had talked about. I have to pull up the exact thing, because I broke it down. You know, I was like, okay, because you know they're in English, but then the root word, I love to find out where words come from and what that original meaning is. And so I broke it down like, how, be careful what that means, in what manner, by what means, and walk, you know, is how I conduct my life, how I live. And unwise, well, we know what that means. You know, but making the most of the opportunities was what really jumped out at me, because it was talking about buy out, buy away from, purchase out, buy up at the marketplace, seizing a buying opportunity or making the most of a present opportunity, recognizing its future gain. And I was like, that is such a powerful statement right there. And then it talks about, you know, of your time, making the most of your time, the opportunity, the right season, a favorable moment, a suitable time. And but the one that really jumped out at me was because it says, because the days are evil. And then, you know, when you hear evil, you automatically think like the devil or bad, something really bad. But the root word for this one, yes, it had like evil and stuff, but the origin is to toil.
Oh, wow.
It means pain and toilsome. And I was like, all right. So this is a verse that really stood out to me. And throughout the week, I've been thinking a lot about it. And then for me, I felt like it was a confirmation or something that God is saying to us about us jumping out and making most of the opportunities that are presented to us. And
you know, Andrea, as you were talking, all I could think about was how important it is to be prepared for those opportunities.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
because otherwise you can't make the most of an opportunity if you're
Yeah.
not ready for
Yeah.
it to come along.
Yeah.
You know, it's important. Well, for me, for example, as a singer, if I'm not practicing regularly and then somebody asks me, you know, oh, could you sing for us tomorrow, or could you do this?
Yeah.
And if I don't feel ready, then I can't make the most
Yeah.
out of that opportunity,
Yeah.
you know?
It's true.
And so whether it's going to school, whether it's studying or reading a book or whatever it is you need to do to get prepared, so when those opportunities come along, you're ready, then you can make the most of it.
Yeah. Well, you jumped on what I was going to say
Oh,
right
sorry.
after. No, I'm glad you said it, because I like when that happens. But
Yeah.
the next day, you know, I was writing in my journal, and I said, making the most of every opportunity doesn't mean waiting.
Right.
And
right.
I think sometimes we kind of wait. You hear people say, well, when this happens, or when that happens, or, you know, they just kind of sit and kind of wait for something to fall into their laps.
Right.
And that's not what it
That's
means.
not what it
because
means.
if it's saying going to the market, buying up at the marketplace, that means you have to be at the marketplace.
And it means you have to have money, you know, so
Yeah.
you need to be ready to make that purchase or whatever
exactly.
it is. Yeah.
So you have to be searching for the deals. You know, you have to have that eye, because somebody may not see the opportunity that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Because it's saying taking advantage of an opportunity, seeing the future gain.
Right.
So it's up to, and you touch about you know, being wise. You have to be always improving on yourself. You know, reading books, if it has to go back to school, taking courses, you know, improving upon your skill that you have or something. I think that is what it means
Yes.
about being wise. It
Definitely,
requires us
definitely.
to invest in ourselves. And sometimes I feel like people kind of stay stagnant in whatever they're doing, and they don't try to improve or invest in themselves, and then somebody else comes along with that same idea but better,
Yeah.
and they do better, and then you're like, but
Yeah, but
you
what
know.
about me? Yeah.
Yeah. So this verse really spoke a lot to me, and you know, I had to ask myself, okay, am I investing in myself? You know, am I learning from others? We have to be able and willing to sharpen our skills and to listen and learn from other people as well. I think that is what makes people wise too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And you know, I think it also depends on what your dreams or your goals are. You know, what opportunities you want to take advantage of, because
Yeah.
you want, like the verse said, to be wise and not unwise. So not every single opportunity that comes along, maybe that's not something you need to jump on.
Exactly.
You know, if it doesn't fit in with what God has in store for you to do, or the way you're designed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I was watching this short video of somebody, I don't remember the name of the guy, but he was talking about how many times he failed.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the reasons why people are afraid to jump to or to
Yes.
launch, because they're afraid of failure. But failure isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing if you stay there.
Exactly.
But if you learn
Exactly.
from that and you try again, this guy was talking about how he failed like third grade so many times. Then they put him back and he failed that class, and he kept failing at everything. He said like 24, 25 people applied for a job, and he was the only one that got rejected. Like everything he applied for. He said he applied to Harvard like 30-something times, and he got rejected every time. But he failed at so many things, but he said, I kept going.
Right.
I kept trying. And now
Right.
he's like a multi-millionaire type person.
Yeah.
But he didn't allow the fear of failure to kind of stop him from not trying or not pressing on. So I think that's one of the reasons too why people are hesitant to make that next step, because of the fear of failure.
Yeah. Well, it is, I can understand people being afraid of failing.
Yeah.
But I still think it's important to try. I still think
Yes.
it's important to keep putting yourself out there, no matter how many times. Is that? Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
I'm really enjoying your show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm right here in my love team, enjoying it. So I look forward to it through the morning to enjoy the ladies. It's always so positive.
Thank you.
And I am planning to jump too. Don't worry, when I get my jump, I will call you.
All right. That sounds good.
Yes. I'm from the lead.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, all the best with that jump.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Sonia Margaret.
Sonia Maivit?
Yeah.
All right.
One time long ago, I won a prize of the show, and I had to went way to Democrat to receive it.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
Continue, God bless.
Thank you very
Bless
much,
you.
and God bless you too.
Okay.
That's awesome. I'm glad that
Yeah.
she's getting ready to jump. And a lot of people are, but I think you were saying something before she called in. Do you remember what you were saying?
No, I don't.
remember. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It is. I don't know how the age of the caller, but I know for me there are times like, at my age, I think, well, what else can I do, or what else, should I be ready for? I've done everything,
Yeah.
But there are still new opportunities
Yes.
that are coming around.
Yeah.
And to be ready for those new things in this new phase of life that
Exactly.
you're in.
Yeah. And what came to me when I was thinking about today and, continuing this discussion, I remembered something my husband had said a while back. Okay, let's get this and then I'll
Okay.
continue.
Good morning.
Hello, caller. It's me, Corinda. I am 61.
Oh, okay.
And I am blessed with 7 children, and they are all grown now, and I have 10 children.
Oh, wow.
Take and jump.
That's right.
Yes.
Spiritual warfare, yes. In my congregation, I'm the woman ministry director. So I'm listening to you so that I could get ideas to jump.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so he had read, my husband, he loves to read the Bible, and he takes his time on one chapter. Sometimes he's there forever, I feel like. But he had read with Moses when, he encountered God in the burning bush. And I think one of the questions that God had asked Moses was, what was in your hand?
Yeah.
But my husband he was stuck on that what was in your hand thing for a long time. And it came back to me this morning because what he got from that was, what is in your hand?
Mm-hmm.
What is in my hand that we can use?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of time people are saying, well, I don't have nothing. I don't have any money to do this or do that. But what is in your hand? That means what skill or talent that you have already that
That's
God
right.
has given to you that
That's
you are not
right.
even paying attention to or
Yeah.
thinking you could get money
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
And so that is a good question to ask yourself if you are thinking about jumping and you're like, but I don't know what to jump into. Whatever. What is in your hand? What is
Yeah.
it that you're passionate about, that you're good at? Maybe you're good at making cakes. Maybe you're good at sewing. Maybe you're good at singing like a leader. Maybe you're good at writing, like we had Charlotte on with
Yes.
her book. What is it that you're good at? Maybe you're good with children. Maybe you could open a daycare. Ask yourself those questions, or ask people around you that may be seeing the things that you're good at that you don't even know, and jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think there's something for each one of us. I think there's a gift or a talent or something that we can do.
Yes.
And even if it's not an opportunity where you can make money, although making money is very important because we all need to eat and have a place to live and clothes to wear. But like what Shasta was talking about with impacting the next generation,
Yes. Yeah.
maybe what your gift is encouraging other people, and you've held back from saying something because you didn't want to mash anybody's corns or whatever.
So
But
much we can.
but I just want to encourage people to step out and do whatever it is you feel that you're passionate about, that God has gifted you to do, and jump. Just get out there and do what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So I hope that we are, kind of stirring up the fire under some people, because it is important. And for some reason, I feel like we have to take note of the times soon. Like, I just realized how old I will be next year. I was 2 years off. I'm like, okay, I still have time. But you know what? Today is the day.
Yes.
Today is the day to get started on something. And it doesn't mean, and we're not saying to be reckless too. We don't want people to kind of say, okay, then I quit my job and go do something. It's not that. You have a job and then you have work. Yes. I've heard somebody make the distinction, and I've never thought of it that way. You work on the thing you love, and then you go to your job.
Right.
And you go to that job until you can just work.
Right.
So you have to have a balance. You need to have, there's a verse that says there's wisdom in the multitude of counselors or something. So it's good to talk with people that you trust about your ideas and different ways. And I like what Alida said, because not all of the jumping will be something that will make money. Maybe you are called to do something that will just be a blessing to other people.
Right.
So it's something worth looking into and talking about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it's important too to have goals. Well, to have, if you've been dreaming about something, to turn that dream into a goal.
Yes.
Because it's important to think long term. I think about, I love to sing, and I want to sing for as long as I have breath. But I think about that day when maybe I can't sing anymore, and what am I going to do? So always thinking ahead, always thinking about the long range plans. Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to make the gifts or talents that I have stretch out longer, or I just figure out what your dream is, and then break that dream down into a goal and take it bite-sized pieces, because that's another way to make the most of every opportunity. Yeah. Maybe there's a class at the Y that you want. You've always dreamed about making a quilt, so you need to learn how to sew. Yeah. Just take those steps that you need to take so you can get where you want to go.
Yeah, that's important what you said about breaking it down, because sometimes when we have that goal, it looks like we'll never be able to do that. But if you break it down and you work towards it, it is possible. And that's what Denzel Washington has said in, I think I was listening, he said, you have to dream, but have a goal, and go towards a goal, or you will just be dreaming, and you will never really, nothing will come out of it. So, but we're going to take a break on that and then come back and wrap up today's discussion. So we would love to hear from you. If you want to call in or text us or comment on our Facebook page, we would love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
From the company who brought you Buen Dia freeze-dried coffee, Greece 100% pure Colombian coffee is made in Colombia, considered among the finest coffee regions around the world. Naturally freeze-dried, Greece 100% pure Colombian coffee is exposed to less heat than other coffee brands to preserve the flavor and aroma to make the perfectly convenient cup of coffee you deserve. Have a buenos dias with Grace.
Recipes, go to gracerecipes.com. It's time for Grace. Grace, bringing good taste to life.
Continuing our conversation on jumping and launching and making the most of every opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think there was something you put on Facebook earlier this week.
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Yeah. I posted, it's from a devotional that Max Lucado did, I think in 2015 or whatever, it's called 365-Day Devotional God is With You. And it's just been really, lots of what he said has been jumping out at me. And so I shared this, and it says, stay in your own lane. Run your own race. Nothing good happens when you compare and compete. God does not judge you according to the talents of others. He judges you according to yours. His yardstick for measuring faithfulness is how faithful you are with your own gifts.
Yeah.
You are not responsible for the nature of the gift, but you are responsible for how you use it. And I was like, bam, today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Run your own race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay in your own lane.
And that one stands out to me because my oldest brother is a track coach. And when he makes a post on Facebook, or especially if he's doing a video, he'll say, my name is John Wright and I'm in my lane. You know? So he always does what's in his lane. And I try to keep that in my focus too. It's like, nope, this is my lane. Let me stay here. And I don't have to be jealous of what's happening over in your lane or anybody else's lane, because I'm running my own race and doing what God told me to do. Yeah.
So when I read that, it's the same thing for me. I was like, okay. Because sometimes it is easy for us to kind of look on what's happening in somebody else's lane. And I liked what he said. God does not judge you according to the talents of others. It's not like God is looking at you and saying, well, you say a leader, they do all of that, and you know, they do nothing. And, you know, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
You know, it's not like he gave a leader more than he gave you. You have your own giftings and talents, and really what it comes down to is what he said is how you use it.
How you use it.
He's, you know, you're going to be judged on how you use that gift or talent that you have. So keep your eyes on, you know, your race. Keep your eyes on what you're supposed to be doing, instead of kind of looking, because that will trip you up.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want that to happen. So I've been sharing little bits of it, you know, of the devotional on my page, like the parts that really stood out to me. And then I shared one after that. It says, don't occupy yourself with another person's assignment. Stay focused on your own, which I felt was also very powerful and kind of went along with what the first one was saying. Yeah. We kind of have to stay focused on our assignment, what it is that we're assigned to do, and, you know, not be worried about what other people are doing or aren't doing around us. And that will help us to get to our goal, our goal faster, I think.
So do you have an assignment that you're supposed to be?
Stop asking me that question,
Inquiring minds want to know.
No, it was just a random post.
Yeah.
No, but no, honestly, I'm sure I have assignments that I've been slacking on. Oh, you said something earlier that mashed my can. Yes, but going back, and I love quotes because they really speak to me a lot. And I had shared a quote yesterday that I told you mashed my can. And it was funny how God speaks to people, because I took a picture of this bridge and I really liked how it came out. So I said, I need a quote that goes with this picture. And then I found this quote and I was like, oh my goodness.
I love how God works.
Yeah. So I'm pulling it up.
I love how God works.
And it says, until you cross the bridge of your insecurities, you can't begin to explore your possibilities. And I was like, ouch.
I know, but I wrote that I love that quote, because that's exactly what I had to do and still am doing, crossing the bridge of my insecurities. Yeah. To see what the possibilities are, because we don't know what's on the other side. We think we do.
Yeah.
We tell ourselves all these things, but what if, and we but what if ourselves out of the opportunity and the possibilities that God has in store for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So There we go. But it is, I struggle with insecurities, and I think a lot of people do. But you have to, do you want to forever say, I struggle with insecurities? Or will you get to the point where you say, I used to struggle with insecurities, but you know, you crossed over, and you won't know what lies ahead of you if you don't make that step, or if you don't cross over the bridge. So those really spoke to me, and I'm thankful that God speaks to us through many different ways.
Many different ways.
Yeah.
Many different
And
ways.
He will nudge you and prod you and kind of say, come on, you can do it. So I hope that we can help you as well, those of you who are watching and listening, about taking that step forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to leave one more verse this morning with everybody that it has been a favorite verse of mine ever since I was a little girl. I think it's the first verse I memorized beside John 3:16, because I think everybody knows that one. But it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. I love the Amplified version that says, trust in and rely confidently on the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight or understanding. In all your ways, know and acknowledge and recognize Him, and He will make your path straight and smooth, removing obstacles that block your way. And I think that is a perfect verse for those of you who are thinking about jumping. Don't rely on your own insight or understanding, but trust in Him and look to Him, and He will direct your path. He will direct you in the way that you should go.
Definitely. Because in those times, as we're preparing for whatever it is He's called us to do, we find the different things that are opening, the doors that are opening for us. You know, we can see them when we're in that mode of watching. But if you're not ready, you're not going to recognize, oh, this is a door. This is what this, I'm supposed to go this way. I'm supposed to do this. We won't recognize those things if we're not ready.
That's true. All right, so I guess that's it for today. I hope that you guys enjoy the show, and that you will tell your friends about it. They can watch the repeat of it on our Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel. And if you would like to follow us on our Facebook pages and Instagram, if you're there, to see our quotes and what we're posting up of the show, my page is Andrea.Lisa, Liesa, on Instagram, and I have a Andrea.Lisa Facebook page as well.
And I'm at Alita Sharp Music, so Alita Sharp Music everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Alita Sharp Music. So
thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to Miss Sonia that called in today.
And thank you to Grace Kennedy Belize for sponsoring the show. Thank you to Shasta and Jadine, who were here with us earlier. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Denmark, for your work this morning. And thank you to everybody that's watching, because we absolutely couldn't do the show without you.
All right, we'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.